Hey everyone, welcome back to English to Go, where learning English is simple, enjoyable, and yes, you can take it wherever you go.
I'm Ryan.
And I'm Julia. It is so wonderful to be here with you today, truly.
You say that every episode, Julia. Do you actually mean it, or is that just your podcast voice?
Gasps, mock offended. Ryan, I always mean it. Although I will admit I had about 3 cups of coffee this morning, so today I mean it with extra enthusiasm.
3 cups. That explains a lot. You were practically vibrating when you walked in.
I prefer the word energized. And what about you? You look calm, suspiciously calm.
I had 0 cups of coffee. I'm running on pure terror about today's topic. You'll understand why in about 60 seconds.
Oh, is that so? Well, before we get to Ryan's terrifying morning, and trust me, you are going to relate to this, let's take care of some important business first.
Yes, if you enjoy our chats, please hit that like button right now. It takes 1 second and it genuinely helps us reach more people who are learning English.
And please subscribe to the channel so you never miss an episode. We put a lot of love into these, and we want you to be part of our community. Also, share this episode with a friend, a coworker, or a family member who is working on their English. You never know whose day you might change.
All right, now about that terrifying morning of mine. So, this actually happened to me last week. I was at a professional networking event. You know the kind. Everyone has a little name tag, there are finger sandwiches on a table, and everyone is trying very hard to look very confident.
I know exactly the kind.
So this very impressive woman walks up to me. She runs her own company, and she smiles and says, "Julia, say the line."
Hi there. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
And I just stopped. My brain went completely silent, like someone had pulled the plug. I opened my mouth, and what came out was, "Julia, say what came out."
Well, I'm Ryan. I do things, English things, and I live here in this city, which is where we are right now.
I said, "Which is where we are right now," to a person who also lives in the city while we were standing in the city together.
You told her you live in the place where you currently were.
I said, "Which is where we are right now." She smiled very politely and walked directly toward the sandwiches. I don't blame her at all.
Okay, but here is the thing, and this is important. If you heard that story and felt a little flicker of recognition, you are not alone. Tell me about yourself is one of the most common questions in English, and it is also one of the most panic-inducing, and that is exactly what we are solving today.
So that this never happens to you or to me ever again.
All right, Ryan, let's fix what happened at that networking event. First question, why do you think your brain froze?
Because the question is so big? Like, where do you even start? My whole life, my childhood, my job, my cat?
Exactly, that is the trap. When someone says, "Tell me about yourself," your brain hears, "Please summarize your entire existence in the next 30 seconds. And that is impossible, so you freeze.
So what do we do instead?
We shrink the question. We don't try to answer, "Who are you as a complete human being?" We answer something much smaller. Who are you right now in this moment for this specific person?
Okay, that is actually a lot less scary.
And to organize your answer, I want to give everyone a framework. 3 simple steps. I call it the PPF method. Present, past, future.
PPF, like a sandwich, present bread, past filling, future bread.
Sure, a PPF sandwich. Let's go with that. So present is first. This is who you are right now. Your name, your current role, and your main focus at this moment in your life. Keep it to 2 or 3 sentences maximum.
Okay, so for me at that event, I'm Ryan, I'm an English podcast host, and I'm currently focused on helping everyday learners build their confidence in real conversations.
Perfect. Short, clear, specific. It gives the other person your name and a window into your world. Now, past. And this is not your full history. It is simply the one or two things from your background that explain how you arrived at where you are today. Think of it as a bridge.
So not my entire resume, just the relevant chapter.
Exactly. For example, before this, I worked as an English teacher for several years, and that is actually where I discovered how much I love helping people communicate. 2 sentences, done.
And then future?
This is my favorite step. The future is where you share one goal or direction, something you are genuinely excited about. It does not need to be dramatic, it just needs to be real.
Like, my goal this year is to reach even more learners around the world and help them feel ready for job interviews and everyday conversations.
Beautiful. Now put all 3 together.
I'm Ryan, I'm an English podcast host, and right now I'm focused on helping learners build their confidence in everyday English. Before this, I worked as a teacher for several years. That's honestly where my love for this started. And going forward, my big goal is to reach even more people around the world.
That was about 35 seconds. It was warm, clear, and interesting. And most importantly, it would have completely saved you from the sandwich retreat.
She really did walk very purposefully toward that table.
Okay, the PPF framework gives you structure, but structure alone is like a house with no furniture. Let's talk about how to make your answer actually interesting and memorable.
I'm listening.
The first upgrade is what I call the why. Most people tell you what they do. Very few people tell you why they do it. And the why is the part that makes people lean in.
Like the difference between I'm an accountant versus I'm an accountant because I love helping small business owners stop losing sleep over their finances.
Yes, now I am genuinely interested in that accountant. I have follow-up questions. The why turns a simple statement into an invitation.
An invitation. I like that.
Think of it this way. A good self-introduction does not try to close a conversation. It opens one. You want the other person to finish listening and think, oh, I want to know more about that.
So the why acts like a hook on the end of your answer.
Exactly. And speaking of hooks, the second upgrade is the conversation hook. This is one specific, slightly unexpected detail about yourself that naturally invites a follow-up question.
Like mentioning that you once lived in 4 different countries?
Perfect example. Or that you teach chess to children on weekends. Or that you're training for your first marathon. Something real, something a little surprising, a detail the other person can grab onto and say, wait, tell me more about that.
So it's like a cliffhanger for your own life.
A cliffhanger for your life. Yes, I love that. Now, the third nuance, and this one is critical, adapting your answer to your audience.
Straightened up. Because tell me about yourself at a job interview is a very different beast than the same question at a gym.
Completely different. Let's contrast. At a job interview, you want to be professional and specific. Lead with your experience and skills. For example, I'm a project manager with 6 years of experience in healthcare technology. In my last role, I led a team that reduced project delivery time by 40%. I'm passionate about building systems that genuinely make people's lives easier.
Impressive. Every word earns its place there.
Now, at a casual social setting, say the first day of a cooking class, you leave the credentials at the door. You might say, I'm Julia. I've been in this neighborhood about 2 years. I'm honestly a terrible cook, which is exactly why I signed up. I burned pasta last week and decided enough is enough.
Laughing. You burned pasta? Julia, that's mostly just boiling water.
Mock defensively. It was a very distracted moment. The point is, in a casual setting, your personality and warmth matter far more than your qualifications. Always read the room.
And what about length? Because I'm pretty sure I talked for about forever at that networking event before she escaped.
The golden rule is 30 to 60 seconds. That's your window. Any shorter and you seem evasive. Any longer and, as you discovered, people began calculating the distance to the nearest snack table.
Laughing. 30 to 60 seconds. Setting a mental timer right now.
And one last nuance. What to do when your brain goes completely blank mid-answer. Because it happens, even to experienced speakers. If you freeze, do not panic. Take one breath, smile. You can even say, sorry, let me collect my thoughts for just a second, and that's 100% acceptable. It makes you sound human, and people trust humans far more than they trust robots.
Sincerely, that's genuinely reassuring. because I think part of what made me freeze was the pressure I put on myself to be perfect.
Gently, the person asking almost always wants you to succeed. They're not interrogating you, they're trying to start a conversation. The moment you remember that, the whole question becomes much less frightening.
Okay, let's talk about how this actually sounds out loud, because I think even someone with a perfect answer written down can lose their confidence in the delivery.
Such a good point. There are several phrases that come up again and again when answering this question, and I want everyone to feel comfortable saying them naturally. Let's go through the key ones.
I'm ready, hit me.
First, I'm currently. This is your present tense marker. It signals to the listener that you are talking about your life right now. Listen to the stress. I'm currently. 3 syllables, stress on the first. Currently.
Currently. I'm currently working as a podcast host.
Good. Next, I've always been passionate about. This phrase is wonderful because it connects your personality to your work. The key word is passionate. 3 syllables, stress on the first. Passionate.
Passionate. I've always been passionate about helping English learners build their confidence.
Excellent. Now, my background is in. This is a clean, professional way to introduce your past step. My background is in education. My background is in marketing. My background is in design.
It sounds more polished than just I used to work in.
Slightly, yes, both are correct, but my background is in signals quiet confidence. And finally, for your future step, 2 phrases that work beautifully. Going forward, I'd love to, and my goal is to. Both are warm and ambitious without sounding arrogant.
Going forward, I'd love to expand our English to Go community worldwide. My goal is to help 1 million learners feel truly confident in English.
Now that is an answer, not a single anywhere in sight.
Progress, genuine progress.
And speaking of practice, let's do a quick word tour of the most useful vocabulary from today. These are your take-home tools.
Let's go.
Word number 1, snapshot.
Snapshot, a short, accurate picture of something, not the full story. Give people a snapshot of who you are right now, not your whole life story.
Number 2, framework.
Framework, a structure or system you use to organize your thinking. The PPF framework, present, past, future, is a simple framework anyone can use.
Number 3, relevant.
Relevant, connected to the current topic or situation. In a job interview, make sure the background you share is relevant to the position.
Number 4, passionate.
Passionate, having a strong, deep enthusiasm for something. I've always been passionate about helping English learners build their confidence.
Number 5, adapt.
Adapt, to change something to fit a new situation. Always adapt your introduction depending on who you are talking to.
Number 6, hook.
Hook, an interesting detail that makes someone want to know more. Mentioning that I once spent a year teaching English abroad is a great conversation hook.
Number 7, evasive.
Evasive, avoiding giving a clear or direct answer. A one-word answer to "tell me about yourself" sounds evasive. You need to offer a little more.
And number 8, credentials.
Credentials, your qualifications, experience, and achievements. In a professional setting, lead with your most relevant credentials.
8 words, 8 tools, all ready to use starting today. Curious, turning to the audience, before we go, we have a question for you. And this one is a real challenge, a good one.
Encouraging. Using the present, past, future method we talked about today, write your own short introduction in the comments below. 3 to 5 sentences, that is all. Tell us who you are right now, share a little bit of your background, and mention one thing you are looking forward to.
We are going to read your comments. This is your chance to practice in real life, not just to listen, but to do. And doing is where the real learning lives.
Warmly. And if you feel nervous writing it, remember what Julia said today. The person reading is rooting for you. We are rooting for you.
Thank you so much for being here today. We know your time is valuable, and we really appreciate you spending it with us. That means more than we can say.
Building energy, signature sign-off. English to go.
Take it with you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you in the next one. Keep practicing. You've absolutely got this.